Have you ever felt like English words just vanish the moment you need them most? You sit there, heart pounding, trying to remember a word you knew just yesterday, but all you can feel is silence. Blank. Nothing. You are not alone. Thousands of learners carry this quiet frustration, not because they are lazy, not because they're not smart enough, but because they are stuck in the wrong way of learning. So today, I want to share something different with you. Not a list of 1,000 words, not another grammar chart, but a way to connect with English that heals, motivates, and transforms. Because here at Tailcrafter English, we don't just study words, we feel them, we live them, and slowly we grow with them. I still remember the first English word that ever made me cry. It was hope. I was listening to a simple story and the character whispered, "I still have hope." That moment, I paused the audio, stared at the screen, and felt something shift. Hope wasn't just a word, it was a light that said, "You're not too late." So I wrote the word down. I said it out loud, slowly. Hope. I looked it up. I used it in a sentence. I have hope. And that day, I carried it with me. In the bus, at lunch, before bed. It took me 10 minutes, but it stayed with me forever. That's the power of one word a day. I began to notice where hope appeared around me in books, songs, even casual conversations. I watched a movie and heard it again. There's still hope. And each time it grew deeper inside me. It wasn't about memorization. It was about connection, emotional connection. Every time I said the word, I felt a sense of lightness, a whisper that things could change. That learning English wasn't just a task, it was a path to understanding myself. There was a time when I always felt behind others, behind my goals, behind my dreams, until I met the word, enough. It's a quiet word, but strong. I read it in a sentence. You are enough. And I whispered it to myself again and again. At first, it felt strange, almost like a lie. But with time, it became true. That day, I spent 10 minutes living with that word. I wrote, I am enough. I searched for songs and quotes that used it. I let it touch my heart. And now, even in the hardest days, that word returns. Softly, kindly, powerfully. What struck me most was how often we overlook words that validate us. Enough is one of them. We chase more, faster, better, but rarely stop to say, this is okay. I'm okay. As a language learner, I always felt I wasn't fluent enough, not confident enough, not brave enough. But the truth is, I was always enough. Learning this word wasn't just vocabulary, it was healing. I was always rushing, learning fast, speaking fast, living fast. Until one day I heard the word, still. Be still, the speaker said, and I stopped. Still is not silence, it's presence. It's that moment when you are truly here. So that day, I took 10 minutes to feel that word. I breathed in and whispered, still. I used it in a sentence. I am still here. I let it calm me. And ever since, in chaos, I come back to that word. Still. Not moving. Not gone. Present. I started using it when I felt overwhelmed. I'd place my hand on my chest and say, still. And my heart would slow. That word became my anchor. Even when I made mistakes, even when my accent felt heavy, I reminded myself, I'm still here. Still learning. Still growing. I used to wait. Wait until I was ready. Wait until I was fluent. Wait until I was confident. And then I saw a quote. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to try. That word changed me. Try doesn't mean succeed. Try means begin. Try means dare. So that day, I gave myself 10 minutes. I whispered, I will try. I recorded myself speaking English, even though I was scared. I used the word in my journal. I tried today. And do you know what happened? I smiled, because trying felt better than waiting. Trying gave me permission to make mistakes, to sound imperfect, to exist in the middle space between silence and fluency. And that's where growth happens. Not in perfection, but in effort. We all fall. We all get tired. We all forget. But the word again is a gift. I saw it in a poem. She stood up again. Just one word. And it made me cry. Because I knew I didn't need to be perfect. I just needed to try. Again. So I took 10 minutes with that word. I used it in my planner. Study again tomorrow. I said it out loud. I'll try again. And I wrote, again means I'm still alive. That day I learned English is not about never forgetting. It's about remembering. Again. Again is a gentle push. It doesn't scream. It whispers. It says, come back. Breathe. Begin once more. Even when I skipped days, even when I doubted myself, that word welcomed me. Again. Forgive is not just about others. It's about yourself. For a long time, I blamed myself for not learning fast enough, not speaking perfectly, not being consistent. But then, I heard someone say, forgive yourself for being human, and something inside me softened. That day, I chose to live with the word forgive. I wrote, I forgive my mistakes. I whispered, I forgive the days I didn't try. I searched for quotes and found, forgiveness is the key to freedom. Forgiving doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing peace with others, with yourself. And that peace helps you grow. I used to think learning English meant speaking more, saying more, practicing more. But then I discovered the power of the word. Listen. I stopped talking, and I just listened to the rhythm of native speakers, to the way emotions live in the voice, to the silence between the words. And I realized listening is learning. That day, I gave myself 10 minutes. I played an audio story and just listened. No notes, no pressure. And strangely, I remembered more. Because when you really listen, you connect. There are words we carry too long. Words like failure, shame, not good enough. And then one day I saw a post. Release what no longer serves you. That word, release, was my turning point. I closed my eyes and imagined all those heavy words flying away like balloons. I whispered, I release the need to be perfect. I wrote, I release my fear of making mistakes. And my body felt lighter. Release is not giving up. It's giving space to what matters, to what heals. Trust is a delicate word. It took me years to trust myself with English. But one day I read, you are allowed to trust your progress even if it's slow. So I did. I trusted that my small steps mattered. I trusted that even on hard days, I was moving forward. I said, I trust myself to learn. And I meant it. That word still stays with me. It reminds me that learning is not a test. It's a relationship. Sometimes I felt like English was a world I didn't belong to, too foreign, too far, too hard. But then someone told me, you belong wherever your heart wants to grow. And everything changed. I whispered, I belong here. I wrote, English is my space too. I felt the words sink into me like a warm blanket. Because belonging isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up as you are. And in this journey, I belong. You belong. We all do. Now you know, it doesn't take hours. It doesn't take hundreds of words. It takes 10 minutes. One word and a heart that is open. Don't chase vocabulary. Don't force yourself to memorize. Just feel. Pick one word a day. Live with it. Speak it. Write it. And let it change you. Because English is not just a language. It's a journey. And at Tailcrafter English, it's a healing one. Not how fast you learn, but how deeply you connect. I think the words you love will never leave you. And maybe, just maybe, they will love you back. So today, pick a word. And tomorrow, come back again. I'll be here, waiting with a new word and a new beginning. This was your daily moment of healing with Tailcrafter English. The words you feel become yours forever.